one of the greatest men of all time, Robert E. Lee. Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on this channel. Focus on the screen. Yeah. So today we'll be talking about this book called Robert E. Lee. Now let's say it all again. Robert E. Lee. Now I hope you'll enjoy this episode as you have done on my other episodes, and I'll see you now. Alright. Robert E. Lee. Now, what does this book talk about? Well, this book talks about Lee's whole life and also his advancement in all the others of the battle of the Civil War, just like this little photo right here. And also his soldiers were also against the Indiana Jones of the time, Ulysses S. Grant. And there were lots and lots of these, and he was one of the Civil War leaders, and his father worked at the American Revolution. Also, he was loyal to Abraham Lincoln at first, but then it was like, no way, and he was like, Civil War is coming. And which side would he go for? Would he go for the Confederacy or the Union? And of course, the Confederacy. He was born in Virginia, and that is where all of his efforts came. Now, Virginia was part of the CSA, and it was a slave state. However, this man, Robert E. Lee, was against the CSA, but he said, I should work for my country. And he was more loyal to the state than the Union. And so he went to work for Jefferson Davis, who was the president of the CSA. Jefferson Davis wanted to become a general, but then he was elected as president, which was bad news for him. It was like, what the And then there was the 7 days battle, like all of these battles. It just lasted 7 days and 5 battles. The first 4 battles, McClellan won. But however, the last battle, McClellan was like, oh no, they're gonna win. And he was like, yeah, retreat. And Robert E. Lee was like, WTF, man. And he went to him and went to McClellan, and McClellan's forces were captured. And this is the map of what happened here, by the way. Skipping this map! And then there was the Battle of the Second Manassas. And now the Manassas person is just a place where Robert E. Lee had one of his greatest victories of all. Now let's go into the second one. Oh, let's move it up a little. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's better. Now this is one of those things that happened about the Second Manassas battle, and it was basically everything that happened here. And now here's the Union soldiers. Now this is supposed to be the Confederacy flag, but they changed a little with a little color scheme. I guess whoever drew this picture, they were like got confused with the flags. Now let's go on to the next episode of the disc. Now this is batting for Antietam. Now this was the Battle of Antietam, and this is exactly what happened. The Confederates against the Union were fighting each other. But however, McClellan's forces were like, oh no, they have a big scary army. And then he ran away. He was foolish. McClellan was very foolish. And he always hesitated, giving the Southerns enough time to recharge their batteries. McClellan, low battery for the CSA. And then McClellan was like, should I kill this battery? Battery is back to life size for the Confederates. And they're like, no! Like that. It's like a battery power. It's like a chess game. Robert E. Lee loved these chess games. And loved these chess games. And it was like chess games to him. Robert E. Lee was kind of nicknamed for my time, the chess game. That's my nickname to him, but also I'm just gonna say the chess champion for now. Now he was the greatest chess champion of this time, and also when he played the battlefield, he always played it like chess. Yes, I'm pretty sure about that. Yes, he did play it like chess. Not exactly like chess, but something like that. And also he always done a bidding. And also, he always gone for the risks. By the way, this is George B. McClellan. He can talk the talk, but can he walk the walk? No. Now, this is the tragic Chancellorsville. Now, this award battle was not the most brutal, but second to most brutal. And there were lots of men died there. Even Robert E. Lee's forces were there. By the way, this is Robert E. Lee with one of the generals. And then finally, on his final victory. Alright, this is the Battle of Gettysburg. Now, what is the Battle of Gettysburg? Well, the Battle of Gettysburg was the greatest and the most ferocious, victory that the Union had. And also, it was the Union's most major victory. Now, Ulysses S. Grant won this, but Robert E. Lee was supposed to win this battle. Why? Well, he did some strategy thing, but his captors, who controlled parts of the chess pieces, were stubborn, and they always ran in for the charge. And then later, they all blamed Lee for their losses. And this was the first defeat that Robert E. Lee ever had. And then this guy is just borrowing, and also his land is gone, blah, 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 all that stuff. But this wasn't pretty important here. But in case of Robert Lee's life, we're going to talk about it. Now, this is where Robert E. Lee was married to the great-great-great-granddaughter of a woman named Washington. Yes, that is correct. And also, there was lots and lots of things that happened here. Robert E. Lee, when he was away, his wife had to move away from the land because he lost the land. And then that land was changed to a national cemetery so that the Lees cannot get back to their land as they always wanted to. And that was pretty unfair for Lee, but still, he will die after 5 years of the war. And that's how the war ended. Finally, when the war ended, everything happened here. And in 1870, after 5 years after the end of the Civil War, Robert E. Lee died of a stroke. All Americans, both Northern and Southern, grieved and mourned the death of the greatest general of the whole United States. Union or Confederacy, we call them all together the Confederate Union States of America. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video if you haven't already yet. And I'll see you in the next episode. Shunhan out! Peace!